She knew my dad's whereabouts. She knew my dad's tendencies. She knew I was in the house. So I don't see why my mom would want to put me at risk.
Sina reason yote tungekosana marehemu, na hata hatujai kosana, singekuwa na intention yote ya kumuua.
I'm still waiting for somebody who can tell me, you used to fight with your husband every day, you used to, something.
I pray that she does. Yeah, we miss her. I pray that she does.
Hiyo miaka ni mingi, hata ukitoka sasa ni kama hakuna kitu utaenda kufanya raia sasa. Ukitoka ukiwa na 48 years.
My husband was lying, there was blood. Then there were goggles for the thugs and a muffin, which was on the ground there, on the floor. Yeah, my husband's watch was completely tattered, meaning there was a fight.
The court maintained she committed the offense and she must serve the time. The daughter and the son insist the mother is a victim of circumstance. This is a story of a central bank employee killed by robbers and the murder blamed on the wife. Did Janet Karamana kill a man she described as a loving husband and father to her 2 children? Case files, Not Our Mother, starts now. This is a story of a perfect family of 4, a perfect marriage, a husband, wife, and their 2 children, a boy and a girl. Moses Babu Gituma was until his death an employee of Central Bank of Kenya. His wife, Janet Karamana, ran the family's business enterprise along the Thika Superhighway. When not at home, Kevin and his only sister Edna are in campus. Neighbors describe them and still do 5 years on as an outgoing family. But that was until 23rd of October, 2009.
It was a Friday. My husband left in the morning. He had told me to get some quotations for the vehicle which was faulty. A Muso. He had given me that vehicle to be using to run the family errands. Some Muso which under some problems. So he told me, instead of continuing to use this vehicle and maybe it might jam somewhere and you won't be able to help yourself, why don't you just get to the mechanic to give you a quotation of the spares that want to be bought? We buy them tomorrow. It was a Saturday. There was a roof which was leaking. The man who had put the roof was, I think there were some things he didn't do. So it was during the rainy season, so the roof was leaking. So my husband told me to get also that man to come and tell me what he needs. If he needs the thing that is used for fixing the roof, or if he wants some abati to be bought, then we can replace. Then there were lights. The security light was not functioning. It was dark. So he told me, instead of, we had a watchman who was manning the place. He told me, the watchman is complaining of darkness. Just get Juma, the electrician, to come and tell you what the problem is. If it is the wiring, he can tell us whatever he wants us to do, we do so that he can be able to fix the steamer.
Moses then set out for work, leaving behind Janet and their firstborn son, Kevin. After some hours, Janet left home for work. She was running a salon and managing her husband's other businesses. The distance between their house and the business premises, less than 3 kilometers.
My girl finished with the last client who was there, and she said, and let me go, because I'm going far, you'll be left locking up. I checked the books, took the cash and everything.
Some of the work the husband wanted done was done, but Janet says by the time she was leaving the salon, she had one more assignment.
Around evening, my neighbor came, Mrs. Karanja. She asked me whether she could give me a lift because she saw my vehicle was somewhere in the garage. But I told her, no, let me finish. I'm expecting the electrician to come to tell me what is wrong with this tube light because it's getting dark.
Janet says she recalls seeing at least 4 men, all masked, and one armed with what she believed was a handgun.
So my mom usually calls me. We meet on the road. Then at night, we meet on the road. Then I walk down. So that day when she was leaving her salon, she told me, I'm on my way. Start preparing to come towards me. I'll call you when I'm closer.
I found some people coming, 2 men coming, approaching, but I thought they were just normal road users. But they just jumped on me and they told me, they took my handbag. They said, we need to go and see your husband today. Lazima tutaona bwanako. Nikamwambia hapana, mumechukua the wrong person. It is not me. And then the other 2 came in. The ones I also thought they were just passing. They decided to join us. One of them was having a piece and they told me, Mama, comply because this is not a toy. Okay. We walked. They went telling me how they are going to kill me if I don't comply with their demands. They want to see my husband. They want him to give them their money. I told them, no, to be sincere, mumechukua the wrong person. Sio mimi. Bwanangu hata hayuko nyumbani. Mimi bwanangu hayuko, alienda safari. Wakaniambia hapana, tunajua vizuri sana. Na usitundanganye. So I had to go. 2 guys behind me, 2 guys in front of me. When we reached home, I could not knock my door.
There's a relative of ours who went and who had a knock. Okay, we had a knock on the door. So my relative went to open. When she went there, she found a bunch of men with my mom, bundling her. They even slapped her. Got her into the house, laleni chini. Yeah. So we were lying on the floor of the living room. Yeah. Then they told us now they bundled us now to the toilet.
6 hours later, the husband, Moses Mbabu Gituma, arrived. He parked his motor vehicle, ushered himself into the main room. Moments later, the son and mother say they had some commotion.
They attacked him. He opened the door. He came in. I think that is the time now they started fighting or something, because by the time now they were coming to pull me from the bathroom to tell me to drive them away. What I saw was my husband's body lying in a pool of blood. I could not tell whether he was dead or alive, but he was there.
The gang attacked and seriously wounded Moses, and apart from roughing up and scaring other family members, the gang made away with mobile phones and Janet Karamana's daily collections from the salon before leaving. Janet says moment before the gang struck her husband, they came back into the bathroom where she, her son, and a relative were being held by one gang member and had her forced out.
So from 8:30 to 2 a.m. we were still bundled in the toilet. Just there. Our house girl wanted even to use the facility, but they were like, nah, you're not going to.
What were they saying?
At some point they were like, since we're refusing with the money, they'll kill us, and then they will use, whoever, our family, will use the money that we're refusing with to use it on our funerals.
Moses Gituma was later admitted in hospital, and for several months he fought injuries on his head, shoulder and neck.
And they told me, you just have to drive us now with this vehicle. You have to drive us. I could not resist. I had already seen what they have done. So I was fearing for my life, because I knew if I resist, they might kill me and even kill the children. So I decided, let me risk my life alone. Let me risk my life alone rather than risk now three other souls. I decided to drive.
A few days later, Janet Karamana was arrested. Police investigators had come up with a theory that Janet Karamana was the person behind the robbery.
My son was told to drive me to crime prevention unit offices at the opposite Nairobi hospital. So we went there, we recorded statements, and finally I was told I was left there. And my kids were told to go. My son, my house girl, and my husband's cousin were told to go home.
On the 2nd day of March 2010, 1 year after the robbery, Moses Mbabu succumbed to his injuries. The central bank employee died. At the time, Janet had already been arrested and facing trial for the attempted murder of the husband. Janet Karamana will later have her manslaughter charges dropped and in their place a more severe charge, that of murder. Janet was accused alongside 6 other people, among them a security guard at Garden Estate, of being behind the vicious attack on Moses Gituma that resulted in his death a year later. The 6 were arrested after cell phones stolen from Janet and her family were traced to them. Those who knew Gituma told Case Files the central bank employee was a quiet man, a man who spent most of his free time holidaying away with his family. In fact, neighbors told Case Files the family had it going. The wife says she did not plan the robbery, let alone kill the husband.
That's what I'm wondering. I'm still waiting for somebody who can tell me, you used to fight with your husband every day, you used to, something. I've never seen anybody come to tell me. Yeah. Ati hiyo fight mlikuwa mna fight kwa nini huku hata huku uondoka ama ufanye nini? Kwa nini? Nobody.
If I used to live in the house with them, if there was something, I think I would be the first person to realize, and we had a house girl who also would have realized that there was friction. There's no point where I say my mom has been hospitalized because of my dad being brutalizing or anything of the sort. So for it to be that extreme, anyone can see doesn't really add up at all. If there was a situation where at least once that anything out of the ordinary had happened, there'd be an excuse.
Who will want Moses Gituma dead and why? Kevin, just like Edna, the youngest daughter of the Gituma, says the dad and mom were best of friends. When they were not working, dad will be planning for a visit up country or a short holiday. Kevin says the mother will not imagine harming the father, let alone plan for his killing.
She knew my dad's tendencies. She knew I was in the house. So I don't see why my mom would want to put me at risk of such a situation. Even if, say, for example, if in a weird way she wanted to hurt my dad, I don't think she would want to do that with me there.
By the time Janet Karamana and her co-accused were being placed on their defense, the court had no detail the motive behind the killing of the central bank employee, but the family member, accosted by one of the gang members, placed Janet Karamana at the scene of the murder. Case Files returns after this short break. The trial of Janet Karamana kicked off as the family members arranged for the burial of the central bank employee. The prosecution had 20 witnesses lined up, among them Janet Karamana's son and neighbor. When she appeared before Justice Nicholas Ombija, Janet told the trial judge that on the material day, she left her premises and walked home only to be waylaid by a gang of 4 men. The gang at gunpoint frog-marched her to a Garden Estate house along Thika Road. Janet says she had not met any member of the gang in her entire stay in the estate. She did not lead them into the house. She was a victim of circumstance, she told the trial judge. But a relative to Janet told the court that Janet had a way with the assailants. The relative claimed that Janet at times intervened with the assailants, threatened their victims, and at some point, the gang informed Janet they had finished the job. That was moments after the gang had attacked Moses Babu, leaving him for dead. The trial court was told that Moses Gituma died as a result of appendicitis 1 year after being attacked. Gituma had also suffered from memory loss. Those arrested alongside Janet Karamana were unable to explain how they acquired the mobile phones previously stolen from the home of Moses Gituma.
I'm the one who told these people my phone. I gave them my phone serial numbers, the receipt and everything, so that they can track the phone. With the phone, they got the people they got. Yeah. The exhibits on the table were my phone and my house girl's phone. If there was anything, would I have even given out my phone as stolen? I would have completely hid it. Yeah.
Evans Ombangi was the only insider arrested alongside 5 other suspects traced to towns as far as Kirinyaga. Evans was a night guard at the Garden Estate, where the gang raided and attacked Moses Gituma 6 years ago.
Mia sina reason yote tungekosana marehemu, na hata hatujai kosana, singekuwa na intention yote ya kumuua.
Ombangi was not at the scene of the robbery, but the judge placed him in the way of Janet.
Baada ya gari kutoka, kuna msichana alikuja alikimbia akipiga nduru kuwa budaka ameuawa. Sasa time tulimuuliza vipi nini inaendelea, akatuambia amenjakiwa, mama yao pia ametoka na amepelekwa na machambazi sasa walikuwa wamepiga budao. Hasa ikabidi mimi na mastermate na PC Kingori na Jared tukaenda mpaka scene. Hebu tufika scene tulipata marehemu aliweza kuumizwa hapa na bado amelala tu hapa kwa unconscious. Tukaweza kushughulika kijana yake tukapata amefika na gari. Mimi mwenyewe na PC Kingori tuliweza kumshika tukamweka kwa gari na kapelekwa Aga Khan Hospital.
Ombangi was the man manning the gate register, a book that indicated who drove in and out of the estate. Curiously, Ombangi had made an entry of a taxi that arrived into the estate at 19 minutes past 8 p.m. and left 2 minutes before it even arrived.
Sasa ilipofika mwendo wa saa mbili hapo kuna aina ya gari ya KPH 657J ilikuja, ikawa ni aina ya taxi, ikawa nimefanya entry ya kuingia. Time ile exit ikawa Jared ambaye ni my colleague ndiye alikuwa ameandika time out, kisha ikawa time ameandika time out, kuna makosa alikuwa amefanya. Alikuwa ameandika time in before time out.
The entry had the name of the driver omitted. It was during just about that time that Janet was being confronted by the gang. The entry raised eyebrows. The prosecution told the trial judge that Ombangi had further coincidentally entered the details of Moses Gituma when he arrived home at around 1 p.m. that fateful night and even issued him with a gate pass. What caught the attention of the judge was the fact that when the gang fled the house and forced Janet to drive them off in the husband's vehicle, the night guard failed to indicate the name of the driver, and the gate pass handed to her bore a different name from the one he had issued to Moses Gituma 30 minutes earlier.
Ilikuwa inanyesha, singeweza kutoa gate pass na mfue nikiwa na kitabu kingenyeshewa. Tuko hapo tulikuwa tunasaidiana. Jared akatoa gate pass, mimi nikaandika time out.
After more than 6 years on trial, Justice Nicholas Ombija ruled that Janet Gituma and her co-accused had a case to answer. Janet, according to the judge, was the master planner of the robbery.
Me, I was lone woman walking on a lonely road. Though it wasn't late, it was kawaida time for people to walk. It was within the estate. But I didn't know there was danger ahead of me. I wouldn't have dared. Yeah. If I knew there was danger, I wouldn't have left the place. Because even if I told my husband there is danger to come and pick me, he would have come. Yeah. He was a flexible man. Yeah, in fact, even if he's in the environment, you tell him that there is a problem, he would abandon his friends and come first thing. Yeah, yeah. He kept his family first and foremost.
The judge ruled that Janet had conspired with a night guard to sneak a gang of 5 men into her house. Janet, the judge said, engineered the robbery that led to the eventual demise of the husband. On August 2013, Justice Ombija ruled that Janet Karamana, Evans Ombangi and 5 other accused persons were responsible for the murder of Moses Gituma. Justice Ombija blamed the death of Gituma on the injury he had sustained over the years since he was attacked. Janet and her co-accused were convicted and sentenced to 30 years in prison.
When I heard he has died, I was shocked because everybody was waiting for him to come home. Everybody thought he was out of danger. Then we hear he has died. So I had to hire somebody, an independent person, because I was a suspect in the case, so that I don't say maybe, oh, there was anything, any foreplay. Yeah. But the findings of Dr. Rogena and the findings of Dr. Wasika were the same.
He died of
appendicitis.
The earliest the seven will be considered for parole will be sometime in 2044. Kevin, in his early 20s, now takes care of his younger sister and runs the little the mother and father left behind.
My sister at the time was 18. She had just cleared high school. She's now basically her support system, and she's, you know, I wish she got the parental kind of guidance in life. Even though I'm proud of the woman she is today, she's handled it quite spectacularly. She's my rock. Yeah. If the times that things get hard, she's my backup, you know. Yeah. But yeah, then there's the legal fees that we have to look for, this and that, people saying this and that. We've lost friends, you know. So it's not been easy. It's been quite hard. But with God and prayer, I think everything is achievable, you know.
She says she loved the husband too much to take his life away. The daughter would decline to speak on camera to all case files. Life has never been the same again since our father died and our mother got arrested and later charged for his murder. Gituma's children insist their mother is not responsible for their father's death. They were victims of a normal robbery, they maintain.
There are so many people who looked up to me. There are so many people who respected me. There are so many people whom I was their role model. And they feel really, they thought, right now maybe they are thinking I was pretending. No. These allegations are completely false.
Janet Karamana will spend half of her adult life in jail, as her children spend half of their youth without both of their parents.
If there was friction, you know, even divorce is an option. You don't have to go to such extremes. And my mom is a modern woman. This would have been an option for her. So I don't see why it would have gone to such an extent. That's why I'm convinced completely. Yeah. And at least if someone came with a little bit of something to say that to the contrary, I'd be like, at least there's something. But now, it's 4 years later. Nothing.
Nia sina reason yote tungekosana marehemu, na hata hatujai kosana, singekuwa na intention yote ya kumuua.
The exhibits on the table were my phone and my house girl's phone. If there was anything, would I have even given out my phone as stolen? I would have completely hid it. Yeah.
Janet Karamana has since appealed against her sentence, but for now, she's a state guest at Langata Women's Prison. The Janet Karamana trial is a case still open. Onsarigo for Case Files.